automation, it needs to be remembered that every line of code has impact on a human life. And
so on that note, we would now like to invite Faiz Ahmad Taiyeb, Policy Advisor, ICT Ministry Government.
So this is the thing we never talk about, and we try to hide these problems under the carpet. Yes, we talk about political stability, we talk about policy inconsistency, those two major problems we face, like many other developing countries. Hopefully Bangladesh, after July declaration, will solve these problems in a very sustainable way. So today I came to show you hope that people show July declaration. After such a revolution, we saw many other countries, their systems, services, institutions get completely dismantled. But in Bangladesh, we have not. We are still standing firm and able to form such an engaging and vibrant international investment summit here in Dhaka after just 6 months of the regime change. And I think together with the people's resilience against climate vulnerability, against political turmoil, this population shows immense amount of opportunity. And these opportunities has to be taken by the innovators. And here, we, as policymakers, we have to lay the foundation as much as possible. When it comes to digital transformation, as Mr. Moidul has shared, in the digital transformation master plan, we have said we have given enough massive focus on upscaling. So this is the one thing. If we can challenge our workforce or skilled, then we will be able to solve the problems and challenges of fourth industrial revolution. And here, data governance has a big role to play when it comes to digital economy. As I said, interoperability is important. Scalability of the systems is a big problem here. So, because we are silent, we are not that much interoperable or limited interoperable. Our scalability is at risk or at challenge. And the last thing is ethical use of internet and data, both for the society and for the organizations. So I will not spend much about the problem statements. We know each other that our digital systems are silos, and at the same time, the citizen storage, data storage are also created in a way, those are also created silos. Like our NID system is not fully integrated. BDRS, Barton Data Registration, is not fully integrated. CRDS is not fully integrated. Not only that, the financial transaction data we get from the market, the CDRs we get from the mobile industry, the transactions we get from the payment gateways, these are not interoperable. So our task is to make this interoperable and lay the foundation so the service gets most benefit out of it. When it comes to payment system, we also have a number of silos. Our credit card companies have one silo, NPSB has a silo, MFS is getting a silo, and also the payment system gateways, the PSO groups are also silos. So these are also silos that are blocking the immense amount of opportunities. So we have to unblock these opportunities. I will spend a little bit on this. So when you talk about a lot of silos, silos do not help us to elevate the difficulties and also the scale of the service levels. So here, our government focus is to pay enough attention on digital public infrastructure. And we are saying that in the digital public infrastructure, the very first step, we will lay the regulatory legal foundation. That is the most bottom one in this graph. So that is, we're working seriously with cyber safety ordinance, and in the cyber safety ordinance, we have consulted with the different wings of the society and try to address all the concerns. So by the end of this month, we'll be offering a fresh cyber safety act that is not repressive.
right up there in terms of performance on a global level. We recently did a deal in a RMG factory, and the global industry specialist, who was Finnish, pointed out that the factory that was being constructed was one of the top 3 factories that he had seen in the world, not only in Asia, in the world. Client wanted to know who were the other 2, by the way. I'm happy to report that Bangladesh is right up there. When we do things well, we do them really at a global standard that we can be very proud of. It's of course a journey, because it's kind of a moving target, right? Because all these standards keep getting better and better around the world. And so there I'm also happy to report that our clients are very happy to learn and to apply best practice from wherever it may come. Last word I just want to say about governance. When we have failed investments, and we have some, every year some investments fail, it's always governance at the core. So that's just very important, very sobering. By the way, when Lehman Brothers failed, governance was the issue, right? There was not a single banker on the board of directors, just to give you one example. And in our country here, governance extends into family governance. That's something we're really working on with our clients. We have a whole practice on family governance, because most companies here are family owned. Thank you.
I'm coming from the ADB, and then I'm here to happily announce that we are on the same line as IFC, World Bank, and then I'm really grateful that the ILO and the UNDP has been frontliner to work with the government to improve the governance laws and regulation and labors, and then the workers' conditions improvement. So we had a safeguard policy for a long time, and then all our investment, including sovereign and non-sovereign, we have to apply. Recently, last year, that we joined the world leaders, and then we enhanced this policy. So now we have a new framework in the safeguard policy side as environment and social framework, and then we developed the 10 standards. And I would like to happy to inform you that one of the 10 standards, we have a standard for the labor and the workers' condition. This is a very new standard. We will match with all the ILO's, the labor standards, and also we apply other MDBs, their advanced requirements. So this is the one of the part that the ADB has joined, and we'll, push for this compliance. So all of the, the standard that we are dealing with, we are trying to promote the labors. In the past, we also highlighted the community health and then occupational health safety. But this is the first time we really institutionalize looking at the even supply chain contractors, and then also community-based, all kinds of workforce that we are dealing with through our project, both non-sovereign and sovereign lending that we have to apply. And as the government of Bangladesh and as well as other DMC is already agreed that it will follow ADB's policy. And then I'm very glad to see that the leadership of the Bangladesh government to having this journey. And this is very good news, and then we will continue, hand in hand, working with the government of Bangladesh to inform this new standards, and then what are the measures that we can go and develop to hand in hand. I just came to Bangladesh a year ago, and then one of the surprising factors is that Bangladesh people is very tolerant. So this is a blessing, but at the same time that it will really make it difficult to institutionalize more advanced protection of the peoples and their livelihood and their working standards. So, but I would like to really congratulate the Bangladesh of governments. And then also Dr. Siddiqui mentioned that the Singapore government is really visionary to bring that stronger institutionalized regulation and policy in their country in order to attract more investment. So this is where we also want to see the Bangladesh government to really take ownership and then develop further. Bangladesh asset, the most asset is human. And we are all human. We know how we are motivated. We all talk about the productivity. But I don't believe that money is the only driver for us. I think people's care, and if government care for their workers' condition and their, the life that they can have, that can be really improve the productivity. So we want to, support the government of Bangladesh,
Thank you
and
very
then we will
much.
continue our commitment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Election. Now we will just take a small break and we will request
tailored to the specific needs of Bangladesh's development journey. The aim of such a package would be to holistically support the development of the IP system, boosting IP engagement across all stakeholders as the country begins its post-graduation journey. As Bangladesh embarks on the new transformative era, it can chart a bold path forward, one where IP-backed innovation and creativity drive long-term success, attract global investments, and create high-value jobs, cementing Bangladesh's place as one of the world's fastest-growing economies. Thank you very much, and I wish all of you a successful summit.
I shall explain and very quickly why IP is a horizontal tool in the third of the enabling UN agencies today. So we'll talk about IP. So IP is everything about the human, about the person. So this is really the theme today. So anything that's created, from the intellect to the creativity to innovation to flexibility, is the human being, and which IP protects, which IP helps in many ways to be able to recognize and give award to the human. So let me just quickly skim through what intellectual property is, because it's a lot of many things, and probably this is good to an opportunity to talk about it. So we have trademarks or brands, and every business, every artist has a name. So that's an IP. Now, we also have the look and feel of the product or the services. So that's design, that's IP. And then lastly, we have geographical indication, which has something to do with that's intellectual property that can be capitalized. There's also patent. Of course, obviously, everybody knows this. IP is patent. And to explain it very quickly, it's about the solutions you found on how to implement things here, how to customize things for the local situation, whether it's in manufacturing or the product itself, that's patents. And so that can be capitalized with intellectual property. But very few people know that aside from that, it's also about information. Now, patent information is a powerful tool, because as the world rushed to patent their ideas, imagine the global library of ideas globally in every field of industry. We have it. 90 million inventions and solutions that you can access and use, customize in the country. So that's an important thing. For example, let's say pharmaceuticals. We were talking about this morning about man-made fabric, which is now the trend rather than the cotton. These are innovations. Textile, yes. So these textiles are coming in from all countries. From patent information, you'll find out a lot are coming out of China, vital, and you can even drill down to the specific entity, the specific university, the specific inventor doing that. So that's powerful information. Can use, and that's IP. Another thing also I'd like to talk about is drug innovations. So I'm just looking at India here. So we could see what are the different patents, from the compound to the derivatives to the dosage to the different aspects of how to patent a drug. So this will be a good tool, a know-how, a capacity
can reduce in order to make our enterprises sustainable. You know, 90% of our enterprises are SMEs. So in order to do that, number one. Number two, in Bangladesh, we have one of the best possible rules, regulations, and etc., etc., and one of the worst possible enforcement ecosystem and mechanism. So we have to address this particular issue as to how to enforce the existing laws, rules, regulation, and also up to date and update time to time. Number two. Number three, the capacity building of the government agencies, particularly in connection with this particular issue, I would say capacity building of the Ministry of Labor and Employment. Luciba, if you remember, in one of your first meetings at the Ministry of Labor and Employment in the month of August last year, I mentioned that the Ministry of Labor and Employment must...
I must say this is indeed a very timely and effective initiative, and today's rapidly evolving global landscape is not the Bangladesh alone is going, but we are connected the whole world, and our members are coming from 35 countries, and they are carrying a lot of best practices, and that is they're trying to implement, especially RBC and the is their core agenda. And I like to thank ILO for involving FICCI as a partner for this journey.